Okay, hi everyone. This is Thursday, and I'm coming to talk about refining our practice again. So I'm coming here every Thursday to talk about practice, and Monday to talk about life. And today I'm going to talk a bit about discipline. Right. So we all know that yoga is a discipline, meaning that it's something that we want to have a consistent practice with. So yoga, one of the things that we want to establish is developing a discipline, which is in Sanskrit is actually in its yoga teachings it tapas, right? Tapas is the work, doing the work, and doing the work means discipline. And I want to talk a little bit about it because for a long time I see discipline as something different than I would interpret what it is now. I think we understand that yoga is a discipline and it needs a consistent practice, so meaning that it's something that we do over and over again with consistency. Right? But I think for a long time I misinterpreted as doing more. Right, meaning that I go to a lot of classes. The more I practice, the more disciplined I am. I even would match everything in my life with what I see as discipline. Right, I would follow a particular diet. I would keep myself in very high standards in a lot of things. Right, in terms of my behavior, which is good, which is actually a good thing. But more and more I see discipline as something different. And I want to talk a little bit about that. I see a lot of students going to a lot of classes, right? And I used to do the same. And but the deeper I get into what I see discipline is, it's really not about the quantity, but about the quality. So perhaps to consider discipline is not about doing more, but doing it really well. Right? Doing it really well. Is to have the discipline to hold yourself in high standard to do it very well. I think we all know the difference between just sometimes going in and just get the thing done, right? Get it done. So we can do a lot for just getting it done, but I don't see that as discipline. While sometimes maybe doing less, which I'm going to talk a little bit about, but doing it really, really well, doing the best. It's what I see as a good disciplinary action. So my first point about what I see as discipline is not doing more, but doing the thing really, really well. Right? Do it well. Do the best you can. I think the second thing is the discipline is about showing up even if it's hard. Right? So showing up even if it's hard. And meaning that even if it's hard, I'm going to do it anyways. So even on the days that you find it difficult, you still continue to show up. And that's what I see really what discipline is. It's just to show up even if it's difficult, and to do it even if it's hard and challenging, and have the courage to be sucky about it, right? To have the courage to be not good but still doing the thing. So that's two. And let me see my notes again. Sorry, I did prepare a little bit of my own writing. Okay. And then I think what discipline also is, and there is some sort of constraints, right? When you hear the word, it's like basically you have some rules. And these rules can be rules that people give you, but ultimately this is also the rules for yourself, right? What is your rules for yourself? And I think discipline, what it is to thinking about acting with more awareness and less by impulse. So we all know, one of the yoga teaching is how to quote unquote control our mind, right? Control acting with impulse, control ourselves not to overreact, and through the asana practice or even other practices, we can really practice that. And so it's to this discipline, what it is we act more with awareness and less by impulse. And how to do that is really, I think, to practice how to stay present, right? Because when we stay present, we don't get triggered easily, and we focus on the moment, and then slow down, and then pause, and then through self-observation, self-awareness, then we are less reactive, or we act less just go to do the thing with impulses. So I see that as discipline. And also thinking of discipline as when to back off. And that is something that I struggle with for many years. I tend to just overdo things. I overdo, and I, again, earlier I talked about, I always think about more is better. And more I see discipline as temperance, meaning moderation. Is know how to look after yourself, know where to stop, is also a discipline. So I think to kind of sum it up is, to any other day, what is discipline is like have the control or rule over yourself. So discipline is the ruling over ourselves, and then showing up even if it's hard, and do the best you can at your own capacity at any amount. And I also want to end this on this topic about the balance, right? Or what is the relationship between discipline and freedom. I in fact have a cup, and it says, discipline is my freedom. And while people think this is two separate things, so you're either very disciplined, and when you're disciplined, oh my God, so many rules, I'm not free. And we see this as two different things, but ultimately I think we all need some rules. As we know, we feel very chaotic when we don't, right? When we don't have rules, when we don't have anything in our agenda, when we don't have rules to follow, we tend to be more chaotic. So having some sort of disciplines or rules or routines or whatever that is, that actually free us from having to think too much and overthink, and then we can stay on track a little bit easier. So freedom, in fact, I think requires discipline, and discipline actually gives us freedom. So that's my little talk today, and would like to invite you to think about what is discipline to you, and feel free to share it with me.